Greetings, Sanibonani Molweni Dumelang. And hello, I am Dr. Loquitur Maka, and thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my YouTube channel where research meets relevance and where we make education matter. Now, I just want to ask you one thing. Have you ever stared at a long, complex academic article and thought, where do I even begin? This video is for you. If you are that person, this video is for you. And this video, I am going to show you how I use Jenni AI, a tool that helps one to break down and engage with dense research papers more effectively. We are going to work with a particular as well as important article, which is titled Expansion of Higher Education in South Africa, Possibilities and Problems, or Problems and Possibilities. Now, this is by Mlambo et al. And no, guys, Jenni is not gonna read for you. Jenni is not gonna write for you. I've said this on the previous videos, but it will help you do the work. You still need to do the work, but it will help you in the process. It helps you to interact better, to interact faster, and also more critically. Now, by the end of this video, what is it that you're going to know? You will ask better questions. You will extract key insights from your document, and also you will save time in summaries, and you will also be allowed to actually have or to develop critical reflections using AI. And I've told you, Jenni AI is free. However, if you want to use more premium access, you can actually use my code MAKA20 for 20% off your premium or your pro platform. So, first thing you're gonna do is to upload your article to Jenni AI. You can upload a PDF or even paste a long text into a document. Then on the left hand side, you are going to select AI chat. From here, guys, you are not just reading. You are having a conversation with your document. You are having a conversation with your PDF, your text. All right. So let's actually start by asking, what is the aim of this paper? Now, this is the assumption that obviously the first thing you would want to know if you upload an article is to get to know, why was this paper written? What is it all about? What is the main objective? Right, and now what Jenni will do, it will actually use your uploaded content to generate responses based on what is written. Now, you will see the aim of this paper is to actually examine the expansion of higher education in South Africa, the challenges that are associated with it, and the implications for future development. See, and guys, trust me, I have used this to engage and use to interact more with the PDFs, the articles that I want to write about, and it makes things faster. It helps you to write faster and easier. You can see it is accurate, and the responses will be actionable. Now, you can also use some prompts like, can you please summarize the abstract, or maybe just ask, list or request rather, list 3 key challenges discussed in the article and maybe some of the prompts that may be related to this article, because it's more about massification. How does this paper define massification? And the other prompt that you can actually go for is to what is the main argument of this paper? Now, guys, trust me, this feature helps you to anchor your reading. You're not going to be lost in 30 pages of jargon or 20 pages of jargon anymore. Now, you will see as you engage with this paper, for example, now, you will see that this paper opens with a paradox. Now, it shows, or it tells us that most students are getting access, but the institutions are under strain. Now, universities are basically being asked to transform society without infrastructural support or even financial support, or rather, let me say, enough financial support to do so. Now, this is where Jenni AI becomes more than just a summary tool. It actually becomes your thinking partner. And trust me, guys, if you use it as your thinking partner, it's like having that friend. And this is one thing I always say. If you want to engage better with this tool, pretend like you are talking to that friend of yours. Pretend like you are doing that. And trust me, and one of those smart friends of yours, I know you have smart friends, just pretend that to one of those friends. Now, you will continue to ask more questions. And now this is where you will just understand that this is not just about understanding the text itself, but rather you are critically engaging. Ask as many questions as you can. Now, one of the things that is being, or concepts that is being written about in this paper, because this is a review paper, it's one of the theoretical frameworks or theories that are being used. Now, what you can also ask Jenni is to say, what theory does this paper use? Right. So again, this also depends on what you are writing about and what is it that you want to achieve. Now, as you can see, the paper uses human capital theory. So it highlights the role of education in national development. Also discusses how no single theory fully explains expansion trends and multiple socio-political factors are at play. So what you can do is you can go further and ask maybe how is human capital theory applied in this context? Right? Are there any critiques of the theory in this particular paper? So now you are trying to engage with the paper. Now, this is very important. This is perfect, actually, for literature reviews. It's perfect for essays. It's perfect for preparations of seminars and so on and so forth. So Jenni will actually help you to think or to link rather concepts to context. Now, this is one of the most hardest parts of academic writing, linking concepts to context. we know how. I want to relate to this paper now. We've seen how life has been. What we know what this looks like in real life. The context of this paper. We've seen how it looks like in real life, or some of us rather. Lecture halls that are meant for 80 people, which now seat 200 people. And the same staff members are expected to teach, to supervise, and to publish with no increase in support. Now, you may want to ask while you are thinking about that, because you are visualizing what is happening. What can I ask Jenni? Remember, I said, guys, to you, treat Jenni AI as a friend, as a partner, as a writing partner, as a thinking partner, as that citation tool or partner, as that smart friend of yours. Now, because you have this in mind, you are thinking about all these conditions that are happening around expansion and massification. Right. Now, you're gonna ask Jenni AI, how does this paper describe the impact of infrastructure and staff? Right. Now, you will find that. You will get that evidence. Now, guys, again, I will keep emphasizing this. The moment you open this tool, come with questions in your mind. Try to interact with it. Do not interrogate it. Do not interrogate the tool. Try to engage with it properly. Because Jenni's strength is not just in summaries. It helps you to connect the dots. Now, I want us to try what evidence does the paper provide for overfunding. Or maybe on your side, you can also ask, what are the implications of research qualities? Or someone else can also ask, what does this paper say about part-time lecturers? I don't know if that is there. You see? Now, what you can do, if you have opened this and you have opened it with the document, you can also use the bullet points feature to actually summarize the large paragraphs. Now, this will actually assist you for that quick reading before class or before writing, let's say, a position paper or whatever it is. Now, you can also use the paraphrase tool to help simplify difficult sections, especially in the literature review or methodology. Guys, you will find, I want us to move now to this paper. You will find in this paper that it also talks about students and also accommodations, as well as buildings. Now, you can now then ask that what does this paper, maybe let me rephrase. Can you please summarize what the paper says about student accommodation? And one thing, guys, about Jenni is honest. If the answer is there, Jenni is going to give you the answer. If it's not there, still, it's going to tell you that is not there. Now, with what we have done, you will realize that we are dealing with practicality. And it's very important. One thing I always say is when you're unpacking a paper, start with the abstract. And that's what I normally do to see if, okay, with the topic I'm writing about, this abstract, does it fit to what I am talking about? Now, when it comes to expansion as well as higher education crisis, there's also the issue of curriculum as well as jobs. And now this is also being addressed in this paper. So you can ask now, what does the paper say about graduate unemployment? Now, what Jenni can do, it might also help you to extract something at this point. And now, one thing that I have, as you can see now, many students pursue postgraduate studies by default due to a lack of employment. And I think some of us can attest to that. And it further shares that the curriculum is often not aligned to the industry needs or the labor needs or market-related needs. And now that is what is contributing to rising unemployment. Now, guys, that is a powerful insight. And that insight on its own can give you an argument. Now, it helps you to think now, okay, what else can I ask? Now, because you have been given that insight, you need to push further. You need to push further, and maybe you ask, what solutions does the paper suggest? Or maybe, how can curriculum reform address this issue? And now at this point, this is where now the Jenni's outline feature or outline mode that I actually explained on the 2 previous videos comes in. Now this is where you structure now the writing that you have. This is where you structure it. You use that mode. And now I want us to move and think about or rethink the value when it comes to this paper. Now, guys, this is not just a typical demo. We are analyzing a research article with the assistance of an AI platform. Now, our graduates are qualified, right? But the economy cannot or does not always absorb them. Now we need a deep rethink of what we teach, how we teach, and why we value one qualification over the other, or rather why the industry would value one qualification over the other. And now, in this case, based on the platform or based on the tool itself, Jenni can actually help us now to have more conversation about this paper. And that's if it's there, it's written on the paper itself. So again, you might want to ask more or to give Jenni more prompts when you are working around it. Let's say you want to know the key argument in this particular section. Let's say you highlight it and you ask. And again, you may want to, in this case, for example, you may also want to know how can this research that has been done inform educational policy? As I have said, guys, you are engaging with the paper, with your text. If it's a text, you are not interrogating Jenni. You are allowing it to be your writing partner, your thinking partner. Again, if you're still with me up to this time, because we are almost done, please give this video a thumbs up. Please write a comment on the comment section down below, and just give me a smile. If you don't have any questions, just give me a beautiful smile from your side. Now, let us say you want to compare two articles or multiple papers. Now, the first thing that you are going to do to take multiple papers is to actually click this plus sign here, right? And then you go to sources. Then from there, you're going to select the articles that you want. So in my case, I want to compare this article on massification. Right. And then, so there are two articles that are tagged here. As you can see, it's the massification of higher education in South Africa, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and also the expansion of higher education in South Africa, problems and possibilities. Now, once these articles are tagged, you are going to utilize Jenni's chat context feature to compare the two. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let's say compare the findings of these two studies, right? And then we see what we get there. And there you go. As you can see that you actually get the comparison. So both of these papers, they are discuss massification of higher education in South Africa, and they approach the topic in slightly different angles. And there you have it. Now maybe let's also ask, you can also ask, what are the similarities between these two studies? Now let's see. And then the other thing that you can also ask is to say, how do these papers define and approach massification, or whatever topic that you are talking about. So what are the similarities between? They address massification of higher education in South Africa. They both acknowledge the importance of education as a tool for social mobility, especially for individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds, and as means to redress historical inequalities. Both likely touch upon the challenges associated with expanding higher education, such as strain on resources and infrastructure. As you can see, guys, this is a powerful way to actually build on nuanced understanding and stronger arguments when you are working with multiple sources. Now, before we close this, if you're a student, a lecturer, a policy analyst, or even an institutional researcher, stop skimming those papers and start engaging with them. Now, here's the challenge that I have for you. I want you to upload your research paper on Jenni AI. Ask 5 thoughtful as well as analytical questions. Then also use the outline, the summary, as well as bullet tools to plan your writing, your reflection, or even discussions. And then come back. And remember, guys, we are not just reading for volume, but we are reading for change. Now, if you find this video useful, please do not forget to like the video, share it with other people, subscribe, and also please drop your thoughts in the comments section down below, and join me next time. We are going to unpack higher education issues, basic education issues, and the future of work in South Africa, in Africa. Thank you very much for joining me. Ndiyabulela kakhulu, ngiyaleboga. Thank you. Bye, donkey. Love and light.